Hey everyone, it's me, the Nerd Ace, and today I'm bored. I got nothing to do. Man, if only I had some inspiration. Wait a second. I've got an idea. Let's do this. Well, that was fun. Let's rank them! Hey everyone, it's me, the Nerd Ace, and today we are going to be ranking the Star Wars films. Star Wars, one of the best movie franchises of all times and one of my favorite film series. If you've paid attention to my list of favorite films, or even if you've just paid attention to my channel in general, you will find out that Star Wars really is one of my favorite films of all time, and in my opinion, some of the best movies of all time. So why haven't I ranked them yet? Well, this is for a couple of reasons. One, when I started my channel, Star Wars was still rejuvenating itself, and ever since I restarted my channel, not one, not two, but 3 Star Wars movies have come out. At least I'm pretty sure Rogue One was still in the time span of when I started my channel. So anyways, without further ado, we need to get right to it, ranking the Star Wars movies. Number 10. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. Now don't get me wrong, I don't hate any of the Star Wars movies, however, I dislike this one. Attack of the Clones is a very boring Star Wars movie. If you wanted to see Star Wars, then you expect Star Wars, not Star Democracy. 2/3 of the movie is mostly talking with very little action scenes, and on top of that, the non-action scenes are instead replaced with nonchalant, boring dialogue such as, "I don't like sand." Now, the movie does have a few good parts, like the scene on Camino, which is a very interesting and well played out scene. However, you get disappointed every time it cuts back to Anakin on a beachhead. While the movie is okay overall, it really just amounts to a boring waste of your time, and the only reason you should watch it is so that you can get caught up in what happens in the film. Number 9. The Phantom Menace. A lot of people put this movie on the bottom, like the way bottom of their list, but I don't know why. It's not nearly as bad as many people point it out to be. True, it was a bit of a letdown, but you have to remember, the CGI in this movie is very, very good. And while Jar Jar Binks is a huge nuisance and really a bad part of this movie, it's made up for with scenes like the fight scene in the Naboo power chamber. You have to account for the pod racing scene, which was just awesome, and you just can't forget the space fights in this movie looked incredible, better than any other movie at the time. So while everyone considers this George Lucas's biggest letdown, I consider it more of a mistake. And while I don't think it's a bad movie, it's not the greatest of movies ever. But still, you should give it a watch. Number 8. The Last Jedi. Now here's where the controversy kicks in. What? Why isn't Revenge of the Sith here? I'll tell you why. First of all, Revenge of the Sith is a damn good movie, but we'll get to that later. The Last Jedi is terrible in some aspects, and wonderful in other aspects. While it succeeds in making a very interesting story for Rey and Luke and Chewbacca and all the characters we do care about, at the same time, it also makes a very not interesting story for characters like Finn, Rose, and dare I say it, Holdo. This is one of the worst Star Wars characters of all time, and I am so pissed about it. But the movie is good overall, just as long as you can tolerate some creative decisions, which really aren't that great, but they aren't good either. Number 7. The Force Awakens. This movie's a mess. I'm sorry. It has a lot of problems in it that really can't be overlooked, and why it's on the lower end of the list is mainly because it's a bad ripoff of A New Hope. Don't get me wrong, it's good as a movie, it's just that really there are so many similar things to A New Hope that it is intolerable. Now, the movie does have its own creative ideas, such as messing around with Finn and Poe, which are very interesting and compelling characters, and the whole Maz Kanata arc was pretty fun and interesting. Now, I'm not going to even say spoiler alert, but Han dies, which was an interesting choice that pissed off a lot of fans, but honestly, I thought it was a good choice for how they were going to kill him, and honestly, while the movie isn't the best movie ever, it's not the worst movie. It's just okay. Number 6. Star Wars: Return of the Jedi. Now, this movie got a lot of critique for the Ewoks, however, I don't find them that annoying. Actually, they're pretty interesting characters, and I do like Warwick Davis a lot, so maybe that has something to do with it. However, the plot of this movie still is pretty good. The scenes with the Emperor are not laughably bad, but they are still okay. And on top of that, you had a pretty damn good finale to the Star Wars saga, which in my opinion was, and its ending was pretty good, despite the fact that the new films came in and ruined all of it. So, while it isn't the worst Star Wars film, it certainly isn't the best. However, I would definitely give it a watch. Number 5. A New Hope. Yes, or also known as Star Wars. Look, this movie is good. Very, very good. It was one of the best movies of its time in 1977. Now, I have no problems with this film. However, I feel like it's overshadowed, and on top of it all, I believe it is, how do I put this? Yeah, it is overrated. It's not that great of a movie. However, it's a very good movie. The solid dialogue, the good lines, the amazing effects for its time, I was very impressed. However, I don't like how it's always put at number 2 on the list when I do not agree with that. So, while it is a great Star Wars movie, and I would definitely recommend watching it, I do not think it is the one of the best. Number 4. Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. This is a very good movie, by all means. However, like A New Hope, which it's pretty much tied with, in my opinion. However, I can't do that since it would seem like a cheap ripoff. I do like Rogue One a lot. It had interesting character development, a really good story. However, the first 2/3 of it felt a bit bland, but it was made up for with one of the best climaxes of all time. It helped the nostalgia of so many fans survive, and you know what, I honestly thought it was a very good movie, with many great creative choices. However, the main problem with the film, it has a lot of main focus on the side characters, which the focus should be on the main characters. If they wrote main characters like they did the side characters, it would be a lot better of a movie. But still, once again, like A New Hope, I would definitely not recommend skipping this one. It's a really great movie. Number 3. Solo: A Star Wars Story. Oh my god, this film is underrated. I mean, I thought it was amazing when I first saw it. For starters, it has so many expanded universe references in it that makes me so happy. And on top of all that, it also has, Han Solo And while, no, the actor isn't Harrison Ford. He will never be Harrison Ford. It's still great. And spoiler alert for everyone who is still not watched Solo, Darth freaking Maul is in this movie. If I told you 3 months ago that Darth Maul would be in a Han Solo movie, no one would believe me. But he was. And it was awesome, and I loved Solo, A Star Wars Story. Definitely check it out, because it's not doing great right now. Number 2. The Empire Strikes Back. What? Nerdace, why is this number 2? Why isn't it number 1? Look, I'll tell you why. Because it's the most perfect Star Wars movie of all time. Now, this list is based on my opinion. The one in front of it is my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. However, I will admit, this is the best Star Wars movie of all time. And I'll tell you why. Great character development, a plot twist that is the most amazing in all of cinema, and on top of that, it has one of, if not the most beautiful sets of any movie I have ever seen. With the great dialogue, the training scenes, the Cloud City scenes, I cannot get over how good this movie is. So you know what? The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie. Check it out. Number 1. Revenge of the Sith. No, this movie isn't perfect. And I don't care how many people want to say, but why is this movie on the list? It isn't perfect. Well, guess what? This movie isn't supposed to be perfect. It's a prequel. No one expected it to be perfect. However, what it did was it exceeded the expectations of everyone who was looking down on seeing the third Star Wars movie. What we got was amazing fight scenes, action scenes, great stuff. I mean, there's nothing not to love about this. So, honestly, while it is the most memeable movie of all time, and it's one of the stupidest, yet greatest movies of all time, I would say Revenge of the Sith, while it's not the best Star Wars movie, is my favorite Star Wars movie. So now I'm done ranking Star Wars movies. It was requested a long time ago, and I finally got into doing it. Please like and subscribe, guys. It is really appreciated, and I will see you all next time. Bye now.